cloudy, Miss Cloudy. It's hot out there in the Middle Ohio Valley. Nothing hotter than the First City Podcast, except for the scorched earth that you're walking on outside right now in the Middle Ohio Valley. This is your host, Erin Whited of the First City Podcast, owner of First City Records, 166 Front Street in downtown Marietta, Ohio. Got a lot on our plate today on this episode. We're going to sit down with the MOV Film Commission, Erin O'Neill and Andy Hall of the Manned Hominid. We're going to talk about what is the MOV Film Commission, and then I'm going to try to blow their minds with some film trivia and see which one of them is the bigger film buff. But before we get started, let's go ahead and roll down the music here, and we're going to talk a little bit about things that are coming up at First City Records in the month of July. First Friday, well, it's actually the second Friday because First Friday falls on the 4th of July, so the powers that be at Marietta Main Street decided to let's move it to the second Friday so everybody can go out and enjoy their 4th of July festivities with their friends and fam and folk. So second Friday of July is going to be our first Friday in downtown for you all to come out and support small business. Lots of events going on around town that night. Everybody's going to have music and the food is going to be amazing. The buzz during the summer of these first Fridays, it's like no other. It's a great time to come downtown. We're going to have one of my favorite bands in the house, Place Invaders. We've had them in the store before. If you're a fan of 90s alternative, if you're a fan of indie rock, experimental indie rock, this may be a band that you need to come in and check out. They're going to be in the store from 7 to 9. We usually do music from 6 to 8, but I thought through the summer, how hot it's been, let's push it a little bit later, so maybe it's not quite as muggy. So 7 to 9, Place Invaders at First City Records. And then the big event of the summer is coming up. I partnered with Over the Moon Pizza right next door. We're going to block off the alley and we're going to have ourselves a barn burner. The very first ever barn burner festival falls on July the 26th, starting at 2 p.m. We got music all day long. We have games. We're going to do some cornhole tournaments. We're going to do beer pong tournaments. We got VIP tickets and tables that you can buy right now, as well as general admission tickets. The VIP tickets and tables reserve you a special seat. You'll get a lanyard ticket, as well as you'll get free food at lunch, dinner, and you get up to 6 drinks, alcoholic or not, all day long. You guys will be taken care of on us. And then the general admission tickets are just $20, and that'll get you entry into the event, and you guys can take part all day long. Let's talk about some of the music that we got lined up for the barn burner. We got Micah Kesselring, who is one of the people in town that everybody keeps telling me, book Micah, book Micah. Well, I finally was able to pin him down for this festival. We got Thomas Jude coming down from Mingo County. Check him out on social media. He's got a really, really great sound to him, and he also plays the trumpet for alternative country. You're going to have to just hear it. Check him out on Spotify. We got Evie Schaefer. I call her the Front Street Troubadour of Marietta. Evie Schaefer, everybody's favorite. And then we got Jake Dunn of Jake Dunn and the Blackbirds, one of my besties. I love the music that he puts out, and he's just such a positive and amazing guy. Looking forward to hearing him solo. And then we got Matt Petty and the Whiskey Chasers, which is one of the up-and-coming, really, really good, like bluegrass, newgrass, alternative country bands in the area. This is our festival to celebrate local alternative country in the Mid-Ohio Valley. So come out and join us on July the 26th. Tickets are available now at Over the Moon Pizza and First City Records. You got VIP packages, you got VIP singular tickets, and general admission for just $20. That's enough yapping for me. Let's go ahead and jump into my interview with Erin O'Neill and Andy Hall of the Mid-Ohio Valley Film Commission, and let's see who's going to come out on top of the Film Trivia Challenge at the end of the episode. If you want to learn how to be a part of the MOV Film Commission, definitely check out this episode. I've been your host, Erin Whited, and enjoy the interview. All right, guys, we're back on the podcast, and before we start the interview with the MOV Film Commission, my 7-year-old Owen has a joke for you guys.
What do you call a pile of cats?
What do you call a pile of cats?
A mountain.
And now back to your regularly scheduled podcast. All right, guys, we're back in the First City Podcast studios, and I'm sitting down with Erin O'Neill and Andy Hall, the MOV Film Commission founders, the co-founders. Erin O'Neill is a Marietta City Councilwoman, and everybody knows Andy Hall from around town as in the band Hominid, and local filmmaker and just all around good guy. Man about town. Let's just say that. Man about town, Andy Hall.
I say that all the time. Everybody knows Andy Hall.
They really do. Like, you don't have to know Hominid to know who you are. Like, we didn't run in the same circles. And as soon as I got to Marietta and people were like, Andy Hall, I'm like, oh, I know Andy Hall. Oh, of course.
They all know him and they don't know me, even though I'm on city council. Isn't that funny?
I think it speaks to my age.
What district are you a part of?
I'm the 4th Ward councilwoman.
Oh,
So
okay.
West Saida.
The West Side. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're here today to kind of shed some light on this new thing that you're probably seeing on your social media. It's called the MOV Film Commission, Mid-Ohio Valley Entertainment Commission, MOV Film Commission. We're going to kind of shed some light today on what it is, how you can be part of it, how you can help, and kind of just like what it is and how it came to be. So first off, let's talk to Erin. How did you fall in love with theater, the arts, the movies? What brought you to this project?
Holy cow, that's a loaded question. My first show at the MOVP was the very first year that they did the junior players. I believe I was 6 years old.
Was Marlene Somerville part of it?
She was.
Oh, God,
Yes.
God bless
Yes.
Marlene
Yes.
Somerville. I love her.
She was my mentor for a very long time. My dad was involved at the time, and they decided they wanted to do a youth thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 1979 or something. I'm aging myself, but whatever. But yeah, I believe I was 6 years old the first year they did junior players, and that was my first taste of it. And ever since then, it was just like I've got the bug. It was overwhelming. And I still tried to do it as much as I can. The last thing I did was at MOVP. We did Blythe Spirit a few years ago. But really, I was thinking about this today. The first movie I remember seeing was Star Wars, New Hope,
In the theater?
In the theater at the
Great.
Colony Theater, which is now the People's Bank Theater. So again, I'm dating myself because that was what, 77?
Yep.
Something like that. So, I was just fresh out of the womb. I think I was probably 4. I don't
But
remember.
you have a memory of Star Wars.
Because there were people dressed up as Darth Vader, and I think it was C-3PO. Like, they had to be hot costumes. And back in like 77 or whatever it was,
Yeah.
it just blew my little 4-year-old mind, So that is probably, my dad was a huge film buff, like huge. I can't even begin to describe how big of a film buff he was. So I'm sure that I saw plenty of movies before that, but that's my first vivid memory, and that's the first one I saw in the theater, I believe. So I've just been, that's been part of my world for however many decades. My daughter is actually in film school right now, so it's gone down through the generations. She's at Columbus College of Art and Design, CCAD. And, as you do, you kind of run in circles with people who kind of think the same and have the same creative vibe. And so my sister was also into it. She met a young man through the theater, and he was one of 6 brothers. And they eventually got married. They've been together for 23 years, I think. But my brother-in-law's youngest brother is a filmmaker. And he went off to New York. He went off to do his thing. He's had success, and he wants to come back. And so in these conversations with him, his name's Will Wedig. And he was...
I went to high school with Will.
Yeah. He's another one, you throw his name out and people are like, oh, yeah, I remember Will. But
Yeah.
he did some movies back in the day with the Kirk brothers, and he's wanting to come back. He has a slate of films that he would like to bring to Southeast Ohio and Marietta. And in these conversations, we were talking about the resources and where could he find this and how could he get in to look at this property and all these kinds of things. And I'm like, I don't really know. There's nothing like that here. And so I started to look into it. And there are film offices, film commissions for every other area in Ohio. But if you look at the map of the Ohio Film Office, there's a big blank area down where we are. There's no film commission or film office or anything. So, the wheels in my ODHE or ODHE, ADHE, ODHE is the Ohio Department of Higher Education, and that is my day job. I work in higher ed, so my OCD brain. That's what I was trying to get at. It just is constantly thinking, what do we have to do to make that happen here and to make it easier for production companies to come here and do things. And in one of those trips home, Will met with Andy because he knew Andy's background as a filmmaker, that he had done Arcadia, and it was well received. It's award winning, and I'm not sure what they talked about. I'll let Andy talk about that first meeting with Will, but how Andy and I got together was just like, I don't know, I want to do this. Do you want to do this? So we're just kind of doing it. But
it sounds like neither one of you had enough irons in the fire already in your lives to take on this project. But so it's obviously a project of passion. I will say William came into my store when he was in town last.
Oh yeah,
and he looked around doing like the old movie director thing, and he said, I'm working with so-and-so's film production company. I'll name drop. He mentioned Alec Baldwin's movie company. Take that as a grain of salt or whatever. But he says he's working on a love story set in the 70s, and that there isn't a scene in an old record store, but it needs to be once he stepped foot in my store. And I immediately was like, I will change whatever you want. Get rid of the Taylor Swift records. We'll put Jim Croce, whatever you got to do to make that happen. So I'm on board with whatever project he brings to town. So let's switch over to Andy. Oh, so she's already touched on it a little bit. Arcadia, your independent film that you created, correct? Is that the name of it, Arcadia?
Yeah, it's called Arcadia. There was kind of a version 1, and I'm working on version 2 now. Version 1 premiered at the People's Bank Theater, and it was a great night. After that, I decided it needed some more work before I tried to sell it. So there's a big re-edit underway. But it was a chance for me to really dive into creative filmmaking and just learn every aspect of it, just like a teaching tool film. And then the teaching tool film ended up looking pretty wild, and it was kind of entertaining. Everyone did a great job, all the volunteers. Man, some people should see this, It's definitely a B sort of film.
Give us a little synopsis of what Arcadia is. And where can we find it? Can we watch it online anywhere? Is
you cannot, because it's back in hiding now as I work on it. I've inserted scenes over COVID. I reshot some scenes, doing a massive re-edit. But basically, the whole thing started with what's his name? Hunt Brawley.
Mm-hmm.
He got a hold of me and a few people. I had been on the Colony Film Fest committee, which is very successful before COVID. I think we had 13 or 14 of those. Mm-hmm. And I was on that committee putting that together. And Hunt said, we finally got the funding for the People's Bank Theater, and it's about to be renovated. But right now it looks crazy. It looks derelict. The walls are peeling. The seats are gone. Someone should come in here and do a short film, and I would totally just give them the keys if they wanted to do that. And I asked around, and no one spoke up. And I said, Hunt, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start writing a short film for this theater set. So I just started with that set and wrote a film around it, and I just kept writing and writing and writing. And I started filming before I even had the thing written. So it's this weird situation where I started filming a short film that just got longer and longer and longer, and I would just try to figure out how to make it 90-minute-ish. But there were tons of volunteers. I tried to involve all the...
It features all the best freaks of Marietta, right?
Yeah, I tried to get all kinds of vintage entertainers in it.
Yeah.
So like, the Bubble Guy.
John Gradwell, the Professor Bubble
Professor
Maker.
Bubble Maker.
Correct.
Steampunk bubbles. Gotta love it.
Westmo.
Westmo, the fire brigade he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What about Nick, downtown Nick with the...
that was pre-Nick.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
pre-Nick?
pre-Nick.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
We're going to get him in a movie, though. We are. That is my goal.
the MOV Film Commission, so the way I kind of feel about it is when small independent and even large companies go into towns, they'll send scouts to find locations. They'll look for specific props and places, and you guys are kind of the intermediary to these companies. So you guys will be able to help them find things quicker and probably at a better price because they'll be dealing with locals as opposed to some money bags from California is what they're going to think.
Yeah, yeah.
So that you guys are kind of like the intermediary between the filmmakers and helping them find the things that they need to put on a film. Like
that's exactly what it is.
Okay, so that's the dumbed down version for guys like me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I was in a horror movie that actually filmed in Marietta as well. I had like a beautiful 10-minute death scene. I got to be tortured until death for 10 to 15 minutes, and it took us all of 8 to 12 hours over one course of a whole night.
Wow.
From dusk to sunup. We filmed 10 minutes.
Which one was
footage.
that?
You Are So Pretty, Be Good for Goodness Sake. The sequel, the Christmas sequel to the torture porn film.
I saw that in Columbus. Yeah.
That was me getting my face stomped and milk.
Nice.
I literally laid there with duct tape over my mouth, and I said, "Pour the milk directly into my eyeballs. I promise I will keep them wide open." So there's a scene where he's torturing me by pouring milk, and I was like, in my eyes, put it in my.
So we have our head stomping guy.
Yes.
Okay.
So and also there's a West Virginia college, WVU has a very similar project where they do a small film festival. I've been donating to that the last couple of years, and I look to continue to that this year. So I'm very much excited to be part of this new commission, be it either as just a donor, which we'll talk about in a little while, or maybe even be somebody that you can bounce ideas off of. I just love the idea of it, and anything to put eyes on our area it's what it's all about.
Yeah, because we have, the beautiful backdrops. We have the recreation. We have the history. We have the talent.
We have the buildings.
The buildings.
Yeah.
We have
the tunnels.
all sorts of things. We have, and Andy has started working on our website, which looks fabulous. It's going to be so great when it's done. But, we're gonna do things like have a catalog of photographs of places where you can go and shoot, and you've broken them down into what are the categories again? Like
and those might change, but something like historic homes, warehouses. Can't even think right now.
Like urban
landscapes, historic townscapes,
small businesses.
Like Will Wedig had the idea that with a little bit of CGI work, downtown Marietta could pass for parts of New York in the 70s, New York City. And, you put fake skyscrapers behind it, with some atmospheric perspective, and you get rid of some signage with CGI.
Yeah.
And you got this weird little part of New York City.
Yeah.
So fun fact, but right before you guys got here, I did a Google search of movies that have filmed in Marietta, Ohio. And little did I know, Dumb and Dumber 2 is on that list. So
what?
Dumb and Dumber 2 was the number one listed.
That didn't show up on IMDb for me. That's crazy.
I just did a Google search, and they showed like what area of town it was like. I can't remember exactly. And then there was another film. I can't remember where they said that it was, but that they filmed at the Putnam Commons, and these are like big movies. So we have dipped our toe in the water in filmmaking a little bit, but to get onto what you would call like the national registry of places that people can film, you're going to fill that gap on the map. and get our name out there. What is it that now that you guys are an official nonprofit, what is it that the community, not only how can they help, but also what kind of things are you needing?
Well, we're finalizing our board of directors right now, so we're very happy to have so much support. And how we're going to operate is Andy and I are going to be the chair and the vice chair of the board of directors to start off with, and then we're going to have a governing board that actually votes on things and makes financial decisions and things like that. And then we're going to have an advisory council. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be made up of people who, have a specific experience within the field or specific interests, even if they don't necessarily have the experience, but who can help with some of our subcommittees, which include Andy's event planning. We're hoping to bring back the film festivals and maybe some panel discussions with some, higher up, whatever. Well, I don't know if we'll get big names, but you know what I mean. But
local people that have left and made a career in
and we have connections in Columbus. We've made connections with this film studio in MacArthur. It's called Stellar Films, and they just started up, and so we're trying to connect, all different areas of Southeast Ohio, stretch as far south and as far north as we can,
and including Athens and the OU film community.
Yeah, and we actually I'm trying to convince a filmmaker from Athens to get on our board. He's my last piece of the puzzle, but yeah, we're looking to do like educational outreach to go into schools because like the Washington County Career Center, where my filmmaker daughter graduated from, they have a lot of talented kids in their graphic design video production program, and it's depressing to me that kids think that they have to either move to the East Coast or the West Coast to be successful. And with the technology that we have and the way that we do Zoom meetings and all of that kind of stuff, I don't think that that's necessarily the case so much anymore. I mean, maybe you need to network and to meet people. But I would like to start providing those kinds of opportunities for the talent that we have here. So the educational outreach is a big thing for me. But then, we've been invited to be part of the Ohio Goes to the Movies, which is part of the America 250 birthday thing. That's Ohio is doing a celebration of all the films, the filmmakers, the actors that come from Ohio. So we're doing something locally. So that's going to be exciting. But basically we're looking for support, which we've gotten a lot of. I'm actually really surprised at how excited people are about it. But eventually we're going to need monetary support, seed money, because, Andy and I have funded everything up to this point, including the web hosting, and Andy's donating his time to, design the website, and I'm doing stuff outside of my other jobs. But we need to file a certain tax form, which costs money. And if we want to join the International Association of Film Commissions, that costs a lot of money. So we're not looking to hire folks and pay employees. We're just looking to be able to get the nonprofit off the ground with the things that we need to do to be a nonprofit. And we've connected with nonprofits lead at Marietta College, which has been invaluable. She's provided a lot of resources and a lot of information. And there's a lot of grant funding out there for stuff like this. So that's kind of what I'm working on. But Andy is going to need help with, those locations we were talking about, the scouting and the photos of those different places. And, I've lived here most of my life, but I don't even know what all is out there.
Yeah, we're trying to round out the advisory board, which will be put into subcommittees to help with, we're going to need like a nice list of all hotels, all caterers, and then these locations and who is willing to rent to film productions. And that just takes a lot of boots on the ground and phone calls and emails and volunteer work. And some of this can be done with interns, of course. So we're going to do outreach for college interns and get some help there.
Does Marietta College have anything as far as a film department anymore, arts department?
Well, so Andy Felt is the director emeritus of theater, and he is actually one of our board members, our incoming board members.
Okay, good.
And what he explained to me is that since COVID, a lot of auditions and what have you are done using, you have to film yourself doing your audition on a video to submit to the casting director or whatever. And a lot of these theater kids don't have the necessary skills or the experience to be able to do that. So I think that they're looking at incorporating some kind of video production or filming your audition course or something like that. So
yeah, it would be nice to have just like a small core group of people that they can say, okay, we have auditions coming up. Here is the filming committee that we put together to help the students that want to film these audition pieces, being using their own equipment or on loan from the Marietta College. I think that would be a great addition to their curriculum. Granted, they've had some cutbacks over the last few years. I was very sad to see the music therapy go away. As somebody who truly believes in that, I was sad to see some of the cuts.
Yeah,
but there is still a lot of positive. I'm noticing here on my little cheat sheet that there is talking about a tax credit, new proposed cap of $75 million.
Yeah.
Fill us in on what that exactly entails.
So right now there's a lot of talk about the big beautiful bill or whatever the hell it's called in Washington. Well, the state is also working on its version of a budget, right? So the Ohio Senate and the Ohio House are going back and forth on this operating budget. And one of the things in it is an increase in the tax credit. And I believe right now it's 30 million. I always get this number wrong. I think it's 30 million. And the ask was that it be upped to 100 million. So that we could be competitive with bordering states. West Virginia actually has a no cap, but they don't do a lot of filmmaking. So I don't think that they have people taking them up on that no cap thing. I'm not sure how they operate.
Which is surprising. I mean, West Virginia is a beautiful state and a lot of, it could be considered like Canadian countryside. It could be upstate New York, given the right places out in the woods. I mean, there's a lot of places that West Virginia could be. That's kind of surprising. It doesn't get more play.
And we've talked about us being, a border town with another state. And that kind of gets a little hinky when you're talking about one state's tax credit and filming in another state. And we're still trying to hash out how that could work because there is a lot of reciprocity that could happen. We've got the Actors Guild over there. We've got, like you said, all the beautiful backdrops over there as well. I don't really understand the financials of it. I guess it's a big deal to get a $75 million tax credit, and I think you have to guarantee that you will spend $300,000 minimum in the state.
And that's on like locations,
Yes.
hotels. That's complete funding
feeding
of
your
project.
crew or whatever. Yes. So they are still, as far as I know, they are still hashing that out in the State House. And I actually submitted testimonial to be read before the committee, and there were at least 6 other film offices and film fans or whatever who submitted testimonial in favor of this. But one of the other issues was that they have 2 times a year when productions can apply for this money, and that's problematic in many film schedules. A lot of states do a rolling application, and a lot of the filmmakers, a lot of the commissions were asking for the Ohio Senate, Ohio House to consider that. And the last I looked, they were not considering a rolling application period. So that's gonna limit things to productions that have very strict schedules depending on the talent or whomever. So I'm watching it. I'm not as up on it as like the folks in Columbus. John Doherty, who is the director of Film Columbus, he came down here for an event. Oh, what was that? Last month. And he kind of explained it a little bit to the group that was there. But I think in general, it's still going to be a good thing for us. I mean, to go from 30 million to 75 million is fine. And when you think about what they're doing in Cleveland with Superman coming out, and
so they're filming the new Superman parts of it in Cleveland?
They have already, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, there was talk about naming our official superhero Superman or something, and then having like this big thing when the movie comes out. I think it comes out next month. I think Superman. I don't know. They film a lot of Marvel movies up there because the Russo brothers are actually from Cleveland. But anyway.
Yeah, I think for this area, like best case scenario would be, well, not best case, but a really cool scenario would be a series landing here. That way, a cruise, stay weeks and weeks and weeks instead of maybe 3 weeks. Could be a 4-month.
And we're not limiting to to just movies, documentaries or TV series or whatever.
I like the way that TV has been going over the last few years. Broadcast TV seems to kind of be the dinosaur in the room. I really like the Netflix, Apple TV, the whole, basically it's like a mini series, but you get like an hour and a half episodes. You get 8 of them, and then it could either be done or whatever. It's not dependent on a 23 minutes with 7 minutes of commercials, kind of format where you get 8 episodes and then they'll green light you for whatever. I kind of like the way things are right now with the streaming thing. So that would be, and it seems like companies like Netflix are just throwing money at any idea and seeing if it sticks.
Yeah,
and then
Amazon,
they pivot that way for at least a year or so until it's milked.
Yeah.
Look at Stranger Things, and they milked it, and then like the subgenres that bounced off of that. Like the 80s came back big there for a couple years. And now the kids are all like voting and getting married, and now we're on to other things. But
so the idea is when producers are surfing the internet and they come across our site, it doesn't have a dip in quality or some dip in like, oh, look at this podunk part of the state. Let's leave this website as fast as we can. We need it to be on par and just show what's here, and that content is a huge part of that.
Yeah, we just had a request this week that somebody's looking to do what is it? 1920s like Rust Belt era film or something. And I was trying to rack my brain thinking, well, what looks like the Rust Belt around here? Because we're really south of that. I mean,
Rust Belt, I'm thinking like
Akron,
Kansas?
Canton. No. Rust Belt
what-
is Ohio.
Okay. That's just not a term I've ever
Pittsburgh.
heard.
Pittsburgh, Akron, Canton, Youngstown, Cleveland.
So you're talking like old abandoned warehouses
Yeah,
and
yeah,
old train yards.
Yeah.
And, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so not only what you guys are doing, would that be helpful, but people who have historical knowledge of the area, who would be able to, recall, oh yeah, I remember such and such did this and it's still standing, but because the place on Green Street at Green and Colgate, that used to be Remington Rand, I think. The big, like, colossal,
The building with all the windows been thrown
all
out?
the windows
okay,
busted and the columns and all that stuff. That's basically off limits, but
I call it the Walking Dead building.
it is. And we actually, William was able to get access to that building to go in there and see what it could do for a film that he wants to do.
I've had a tour of that too.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What happened in there like 100 years ago.
Is it like, okay, so we've had 28 days later, 28 weeks
Yeah.
later, 28 years later is getting ready to come out. This is like 28 decades later.
Right.
And it's just like asbestos and
Busted windows.
Busted
and everything.
windows.
But back in World War II, that's where all the women worked to work on the machinery, while the men were gone.
Have you heard the story of the safe amphitheater, the safe showroom?
no, please enlighten me.
So right behind those columns, what street is that?
It's Green Street. Yeah.
The huge columns. If you go in that entrance, there's an amphitheater with the seats taken out that goes down steep, like a theater, and a safe manufacturer was there. The train tracks came right through the building, so they would stop a train full of rich people, the rich people that could afford one of these huge safes, would fill the seats, and they had a kiln heated up to 3,000 degrees and a huge pool of water. And they would ask the audience to take their valuables and put in the safe. They would heat it up in the kiln and then dunk it in the water. And, you imagine all the steam and all the noise and all the
And the ooze
glowing
and the
metal and the
ahs.
ooze and ahs. And then they'd open it up and give their stuff back. That was their pitch.
So it was like the original infomercial.
Exactly.
right.
Set it, forget it, light it on fire, dunk it in water.
But you have to bring them in on a train and then take them out the same way. But
That's amazing.
when you said that we would act like the intermediary, that's exactly what we would be doing, is to gain access to places like that. And with me being on city council and having connections to permitting and shutting streets down and things like that, that's kind of what we're looking to do to alleviate that headache for folks. So, but yeah, I think it would be helpful for history buffs or people who really know the area to kind of weigh in on, oh, I've always thought that they should shoot at this house or this place or whatever. So I don't know if we haven't really talked about the website having something where people can kind of give us tips or something like
tip
that.
line.
But yeah, tip line.
Another really good idea would be to allow them to upload photos directly
Yeah,
to the website,
yeah.
and then obviously you set it to admin.
Yeah.
You could have like a photo gallery,
Yeah.
and then obviously set it to admin. If somebody sends a picture of their butt or something, you
Right.
don't put it on there. But if they send really good photos of classic houses, tunnels, the river,
And
fields,
they'd have to sign off and give permission.
give
for us
permission to
it,
use
but-
the photo.
but
Obviously,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
being the disclaimer they got to check off. But that would be another way, a free way for you guys to
Exactly.
get more pictures that maybe you wouldn't have gotten on your own.
Right.
Going out
Being
and
that we are
walking.
grassroots and don't have a staff or anything.
Yeah, I want to try to come up with ways for the community to be involved,
Yeah.
knowing that it's a non-paid position, and it's just a way to get more eyes on our town. More eyes equal more money, which equals tax breaks. It equals new businesses. It equals new restaurants, new hotels.
Yeah.
So what's
I
good for the
always
goose is
think-
always good for the gander.
I always think about what they did and I forget the name of the town, but in Georgia where The Walking Dead was filmed.
Savannah?
No, it was like some little podunk town. It was near Atlanta, but they have some kind of crazy tax incentive in Georgia, and that's why a lot of the productions go down
I've noticed
there.
that you see the film Georgia with the peach
exactly,
logo.
Right.
Pretty much.
And it's because
about a
of their,
third of the
their
time.
tax incentives. So, but Walking Dead put this little town on the map because, you know, those performers and the production team went there for years and years and years. And, you know, they were contributing to the economy and, you know.
And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that do those. They research where things were filmed, and they will literally go with their cell phone cams and line up. He stood here on this street corner, and here's the sign, and here's the divot in the walkway. I mean, I watch with awe. Like there's a guy named Adam the Woo. He's been doing these things for over a decade now. And he'll do movies from like the 70s in houses that don't even exist anymore. And he'll be able to still find this tree was a baby back in the 70s. And here it is now, this gigantic oak.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And he lines up shot by shot of different movies and things like that. Could you imagine?
That's a whole other branch of the industry.
Absolutely. The social media presence is the wave of the future.
Yeah.
And how great would it be to have people visit our town just based off of the scene or a film that was set in our town?
Exactly.
There's going to be a lot of people that just come to seek us out on their way to Columbus. Oh yeah, this is the scene, or this is the city that so and so was filmed.
Yeah.
Let's stop there on our way to wherever.
Yeah. Well, they kind of do that with Bubble. Do you remember Bubble?
I was knee deep in Bubble. You know, honestly, as a person who I've never understood the movie, I didn't.
It's weird.
I did not.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but I love watching it for that same reason.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's the bar I drank at one
Right.
time. Ooh,
Exactly.
that's the dollhouse that creeped me out. You know?
Yeah. So my daughter's boyfriend, that's his family that owned the Middleton Doll Factory.
Okay.
So
Shout out to them. Sorry.
I'm like, you haven't watched that movie yet? It was filmed in your family's doll factory. It's creepy, but whatever. But you know,
And now
Steven
it's like a
Soderbergh,
dog.
That's a name that people know. So
It's and honestly, he has some really great movies. That just to me was just too out there for my personal taste. So, do you guys have anything else you want to add about the MOV Film Commission before we start jumping and talking about our personal tastes in movies, what movies we love, and then we're going to end the show with a nice trivia challenge. The first 1 to 10 wins. But is there anything else you want to mention that we did not throw in that the people need to know right now about the MOV Film Commission?
Our website is movfilm.org, and our email is info@movfilm.org. And like I said, the website is a work in progress, but we have our homepage up and live, so you can look and see what it's kind of going to become. But you know, just stay tuned. We have a Facebook page. I think we may expand our social media a little bit, depending on what the kids are into these days. But just watch the media, because I actually spoke to a PBS station a couple of weeks ago. They're going to do a feature on us. So I think we really have the momentum going a lot quicker than I think Andy thought that it was going to be going.
It's going quickly.
So he's going to be busy here real soon, because I really want us to get the film festivals back up and running. So that's something that people can look out for. And, you know, we'll always need volunteers for that kind of stuff. So just keep an eye on what we're doing.
They've made so many advances in the cell phone. You can just get one. Like I use the Rode system here, Rodecaster for podcasting. You can get the little lapel mics and a cell phone and Bluetooth, and you could put together a guerrilla short film low budget short film to add to the festival. You don't have to have thousands of dollars anymore to be creative.
Absolutely. I
So
would
I
even love to
love
do
the
a
idea of
student
this.
film festival. Like I said, I'm all about encouraging the younger generation. So I would love to even do that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this area has a robust theater department at the college. We have a great music scene. Thanks to Marietta Main Street, we have downtown art scene that's just getting better all the time.
Mhm.
And I just think the last piece of the puzzle is kind of the film community. You know, we have sort of a disparate one now that keep their eye on each other, but it's film festival sadly kind of died during COVID. We need that back. We need a good film series at the People's Bank Theater, which is, you know, it's part of their charter to actually have films as well as
Right now, it just
live
seems like
shows.
they're doing the ASMR for kids with sensory issues. They're doing like the sensory movies,
Right.
kids and family films, which is great.
It is great.
But
yeah.
how great would it be to have like an art house feature?
Exactly.
It would bring a little piece of the bigger city to our city. I feel like that's the next step for that theater, because they've already beautified it. They've already expanded with the Esmond Shade to do more creative and artistic things other than bands, like they're bringing in,
Right,
like,
and I think that
circus
was
acts
the idea all along, was to do different types of things, including the film festival.
and now is in my opinion, like we're primed, because Marietta and the Middle Ohio Valley in general is just busting with talent.
Mm-hmm.
I see that as somebody who used to be in the music scene in the early 2000s, late 90s, and then the smoking ban and the lull that happened there for a few years. I feel like we're in a resurgence of not just writing talent, but creative talent, especially with the younger people, because they can hold up their cell phone and do just about anything now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If we would find a way to give them a direction and maybe even group support on how to find a direction, it could be freaking huge.
Yeah,
And I think it's
yeah.
so cool.
We're just going to grow, because we could eventually offer scholarships. And I look at what places like Film Columbus and Film Cleveland and Film Cincinnati
Film everywhere
Film
but here
Dayton,
until now.
and see, I didn't want to go film MOV,
Yeah.
and I had people telling me that it needed to be that way, and I'm like, no, we're going to stand out from these other places. But a lot of those have been around for a long time, and they've grown to such a point where they have paid staff, even some of them do, but they can do things like offer scholarships to the next generation of filmmaker and that kind of thing.
And once you get the right set of committee members
Exactly.
and the right set of volunteers, you guys could even offer classes to the young people or anybody that wants to participate. Hey, we got a film festival coming up. We got a 6 weeks course coming up led by this person this week, just to give different ideas and to fill those creative juices and find an outlet for these people to put to put their creativity.
Yes.
So
yes.
I don't know. I'm all excited. As you can tell, I'm getting amped up.
Good.
Andy, do you have anything from your notes there that we didn't talk about that you want to throw in before we switch gears to talking about some fan favorites?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we've covered it all. I don't know when this will air, but we are still putting the final touches on the advisory board. If anyone out there is really excited about helping us put together, jumping on one of these committees, eventually there will be local events to put together. Lots of help with this website. Be a lot of fun if you do want to join us. So definitely give us a holler.
Yeah. And
One
the
more time
email
with that
again,
email.
Yeah. it's info@movfilm.org.
info@movfilm.org.
Yes.
All right. And on that note, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, throwing in some infomercial for First City Records, and we'll be right back. We're going to talk about our favorite films that we hate, films that we love, and then we're going to end the show with a nice round of trivia. So stick around. We'll be back in just a second. The First City Records is located at 166 Front Street in beautiful downtown Marietta. Opening very soon, right across the street from us, is the Black Diamond Distillery and Brewery. They're working hard every day. It seems like they're out there working and painting. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do to the old Marietta Brewing Company. Looking forward to having some new neighbors. Big things happen in downtown Marietta. Other things happening around the store. We got the Black Sabbath and Ozzy's last performance, the Back to the Beginning show. We're going to be streaming that concert starting at 10 a.m. and going all day long on July the 6th. Starts at 10 a.m. and it goes at least through the evening. And it's supposed to be Black Sabbath's and Ozzy's final performances. We're going to be streaming the show all day, so pop in, shop. I'm going to have sales on hard rock and metal. Got a lot of the Black Sabbath and Ozzy catalogs, and other members of the bill got a lot of their back catalogs as well. We're going to have some sales. Bring a chair. Let's just enjoy the day watching some hard rock and metal together at First City Records. Something else coming up on the horizon, we're opening a bargain outlet, the First City Records bargain outlet. More news on that coming very soon, and probably in the next episode. But we're hustling. It's going to be a one-day-a-week kind of thing. We're going to be open on Sundays from noon to 4 to start off with. We may add Saturdays once we get the ball rolling. Really excited about having some more free space to really make First City Records a beautiful store. And going to free up a lot of space and also give you guys thousands and thousands of records to dig at Bargain Basement. Literally Bargain Basement, because it's going to be in the basement of the Kramer building where my store used to be back in the day. First City Records is open 7 days a week, Monday through Thursday. Check us out from 10 a.m. till 5. Fridays and Saturdays, 10 to 6. Sundays, noon to 4. And don't forget, we are always buying. We buy records, CDs, cassettes, vintage gear, some modern gear, collectibles, oddities, weird things, and horror movies, some video games. We're trying to stick to just retro gaming right now. But yeah, if you have anything, feel free to reach out to us. Call the store 740-434-5001 or pop on in and bring your stuff. And if I'm in there, we'll definitely try to make a deal with you. And that's it. We're going to get back to the show. All right, guys, we're back with Erin O'Neill and Andy Hall, and we're going to talk about some of our personal favorite movies, some personal movies that we secretly despise that maybe other people love, and maybe just a few genres that we steer clear from completely. I'm going to let Andy open it up and go ahead and throw in just a few movies that you love. And I don't want to say we're going to debate them, but we'll definitely have some open discussion as to why you're right or wrong.
Okay. Let's see. I always, when I think of this question, I don't have a definitive list, but I always think of the original 82 Blade Runner. I just think it's got so much of film in it. It's got this nod to film noir, of course. It's got the best of pre-CGI effects. It's just got everything. It's got the philosophy of Philip K. Dick.
You know what it doesn't have?
What? Oh, your boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
Ryan, what's his name?
Uh-huh. Ryan Gosling.
He was in the sequel. Another one I think of, have you seen any Jodorowsky? Alejandro Jodorowsky, Mexican filmmaker.
Oh, no.
Also from Chile. And Holy Mountain. It's one of my favorites. Completely bat shit crazy.
If you watched last week's episode, you can get away with a lot on this podcast.
When Jamie was on here,
Jamie was spouting about cum shots and other
our
things.
Daddy, he was going crazy. Yeah, love you, Jamie.
Pan's Labyrinth, I would say.
That movie was a trip.
Yeah. Neon Demon was insane. Only God Forgives, the one in Bangkok. Super seedy crime film, Bangkok, with like Greek tragedy overtones, and it was insane.
That's a good one.
I like insane movies. Like I will look at lists of extremely intense films. Have you seen this? And it's like a list of my favorite films. You know.
Have you ever seen Scorsese's Bringing Out the Dead?
Yes, but I would love to rewatch that because I don't think I appreciated it 20 years ago.
I didn't appreciate it when it first came out, and I watched it again. And when I was thinking, like you said, insane, like this is the vision of some man going insane of working a night shift it was Nicolas Cage and working a night shift as an ambulance driver. And it is way more intense and emotional than I remember at 19. I would believe it was like 97. So I would not have had the emotional capacity to understand what I was even watching. I wanted to love it then, didn't, but now, yeah, I would say that one should be one that you revisit.
Yeah, would love to.
All right, Erin.
Oh my God, jeez.
Just a couple films that you love.
Mine are pretty lame. But you know, Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka. That's
Cheer Up, Charlie.
that's one of my favorite movies, just because Gene Wilder is a freaking comic genius.
So did you know that he refused to do that movie unless he could enter on a cane?
Yeah.
And it was filmed with him doing that roll and stand and flip, and nobody knew it was coming.
I know.
So the reaction of the people
Yeah.
was the true reaction. That he's a master. He was not just a master of comedy, just a master of humanity
And he was so goddamn
understanding
crazy.
people. Oh yeah, absolutely. That helps.
It was just the best.
All right. Sorry to interrupt.
Saturday Night Fever.
John Travolta.
The soundtrack is one thing, okay, but the story, when I was young, I wanted to live in New York City. And so I watched this movie, and these people are just living their shitty lives in Brooklyn, and, you know, but they're so cool, and it's so gritty, and it's just, it's a really sad movie if you really get deep into it. But I don't know. I can just fall in and disappear in that movie. And it's not because I'm a John Travolta fan or anything, but I think it's beautiful. And that's one of those movies where the soundtrack is integral to everything that is going on there. And it's just iconic.
Kind of like a Quentin Tarantino film.
Yeah.
Where the music kind of makes
And
is
I
a character in the film.
Exactly. He writes his movies with that in mind. And I think this was the same kind of film. But what else do I have? You know, I'm a Gen Xer, so Goonies, Empire Strikes Back, Purple Rain, The Monkey's Head. You ever see the Monkeys movie?
I didn't know it was a movie. I have the record in the store, and I actually listened to it about a month or two ago for the first time. That's one fucked up record.
Oh, it's amazing.
I had no idea that the Monkeys put out such a psychedelic album.
So you'll need to watch the movie, because the movie is a...
Is it a mind trip?
That sounds great.
It is. It's got Frank Zappa.
Okay, well, you can stop right there.
Yeah, Frank Zappa and a cow.
Oh my god!
Who else is in it?
Okay, who's going to screen this at their house
Sonny
this
Liston.
week?
I have it. I have it on DVD. Who else is in it? Also, Annette Funicello, like all sorts of people.
Wasn't she in the Mickey Mouse Club?
Yeah. Terry Garr, who just died, she's in it.
Terry Garr from Mr. Mom, right? I didn't know she died. That's horrible.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry to be a downer, but no.
We're gonna end the show right now.
I was a huge Monkees fan during their resurgence in the 80s when it was on like MTV, Nickelodeon, or whatever. So I'm dating myself again, but yeah, that movie is a trip. I love it. A lot of my favorite movies have music themes, because I'm a huge music person. So
I like a lot of low budget but really well done kind of art sci-fi, like Moon. Have you seen Moon?
Is that what's his name? The guy who's in everything.
Yes, I can't think of his
He
name
was in
now.
Green Mile. He played the guy that spit on.
He was just in the White Lotus. Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
Oh,
Dude's like top 10
he's amazing.
of people that you don't remember his name, but he's good at
amazing.
everything he's in.
Yeah.
Or like Ex Machina is another. Her. It almost has to be lower budget to just to really get to some philosophical places and existential stuff. And those are some of my favorite. Come by.
My favorite Star Wars movie is Empire. So
That's so weird.
again, send your hate mail or whatever. But
It has no beginning and it has no end. To me, I just can't get behind that being anybody's favorite.
Oh, I love it.
Is it because of a specific reason, or is it the plot, the story, the
It could have been the age I was when I first saw it. You know, I was impressionable.
A lot of
or
people say
whatever.
that though.
I mean,
I
I
hear
think
it a
it's
lot.
in the. I
Yeah.
think it's in the list of
think
the
it's-
best
It's
Star
probably
Wars
my
movie,
favorite.
but that is until the one with my boyfriend comes out in a couple years. Star Wars Starfighter.
See, you know, yeah,
doing
they
the plug
just
right
keep
now.
shitting out their Star Wars shows and movies
I
now,
know.
like left and right, which is great. It really is a universe, and it isn't just Luke, it isn't just
Yeah.
Leia, it isn't just Darth. I mean,
And they
there's
keep
an
inventing new people and new things.
Absolutely.
And Andor, Andy and I both
Oh,
loved Andor.
Andor's
If
fantastic.
I haven't
all the
seen that one.
movies-
Did you ever watch the Skeleton Crew with the kids? It's Stranger Things in Space.
Yeah.
My boys that are 7 and 5, we do movie nights on Friday night, every Friday night, and we watch 2 or 3 episodes, until we basically binged it over 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So good.
Yeah.
I don't think it had the critical and the views to make another season.
Right.
I heard that it was kind of a downer on that end, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's all sorts of directions the Star Wars universe can go, and with Andor, I like the way that they're doing stuff. But let me rattle off. I love gangster movies, so The Untouchables, Godfather Part 2, Purple Rain. There's another music one, Wall Street. You guys know that movie?
I
Yeah,
know
it's
the
a good
name,
one.
but I can't remember who's even in it. Matthew Broderick?
No, Charlie Sheen.
Oh, yeah.
It was an Oliver Stone film about Wall Street. Michael Douglas was
Gordon Gekko.
Gordon Gekko. Yeah, the guy who says greed is good or whatever. It's a great movie. Martin Sheen's in it too. And Jojo Rabbit.
All right, I'm going to rattle off a couple. I'm going to do some art house indie shit. I'm going to do some old school favorites that I watch every year. One movie I watch every year is Groundhog's Day.
Oh God.
Bill Murray. I watch it every Groundhog
Wait,
Day.
when are we going to talk about movies we hate?
Oh, don't even. No, we can't. All right, she's gonna. All right, we may have a little fight on our hands with that one. All right, so that's one that I watch every year. Growing up, John Candy was my dad, my TV dad. He was my first celebrity death that I remember where I was, when I was, what I was doing when my mom yelled up to the stairs while I was going through my baseball cards with my dad sitting on the floor in my childhood bedroom that John Candy had just died. Summer Rental. Pretty much anything he ever did. I didn't really love Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck,
Everybody seems to love Uncle Buck. To me, I think that one was a little bit more adult. Who's Harry Crumb? Another slapsticky kind of. He dresses in drag. He dresses as like a Russian guy in a day spa. Just ridiculous.
You know
movie.
another movie I love that he is in. Oh God, Nothing but. Is it called Nothing But
Nothing
Trouble?
but trouble.
Where they
where
filmed it in the Pennsylvania town that's
Yeah.
like burning underground, and John
You got
Candy
Dan
was dressed as
Aykroyd.
the
Dan Aykroyd
sister.
directed that. I think.
Dan Aykroyd had a penis nose.
And,
Did you?
yes,
Yeah.
and Tupac was in it with Digital Underground.
I knew
Yes.
Digital Underground was in it. I didn't know Tupac was in it.
Yes.
And then you got Bobo and Lil Devil.
uh-huh.
Yeah, and that had oh gosh, it was
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore,
Yeah.
Chevy Chase, John Candy
He was
played
like the sister.
the sheriff. No, he played the sheriff and his sister,
Yeah.
the sheriff's sister, Davina or something like that. That's another annual watch for me.
I love that movie, and so many people are like, "I've never heard."
It was one of the most critically panned movies
they
of
hated that.
all time. But
It
it's
just
now
makes
a
me
cult
laugh.
classic. And speaking of cult classics, I have to mention Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes. Yes.
It's another one I can't get away from at least once to twice a year. Now maybe some ones that maybe some people haven't seen as far as like smaller budget movies. Granted, how small of a budget can you be when you have Jim Carrey and Elijah Wood? But Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is another one of those. It was one of the very first movies as a young adult that I was like, okay, so this isn't the type of movie you see in a movie theater. This is the type of movie that you watch over and over to learn and see different things every time that you watch it. It isn't a popcorn flick.
Right.
You know, I was an adult finding my way as an early adulthood, and navigating relationships. And that movie just really, really, really resonated with me. The first popcorn flick that I remember ever putting in my number one spot was Apollo 13, and I still watch it almost every year. Young Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
Gary Sinise. Run Lola Run. It's a German German movie. Lola Runt, or however you want to say it in a German accent. Herr Andres, my German teacher, made us watch that
Oh, he was mine.
in high school, and I watch that one anytime that I can find it. The original Night of the Living Dead, 1978, 79 version. Shout out to Tom Savini, the original horror makeup artist that can create all of these things with no CGI. It's all done by guerrilla special effects.
I have to throw this in.
Sure.
When I was a kid, I thought I was going to be a special effects artist when I grew up for like 5-10 years. Like Dick Smith, Tom Savini, and these guys are my heroes. And I realized,
Is this a don't meet your hero story?
well, this is my heroes are way more talented than me story.
Oh, okay.
I started, the more I dug into it, I realized, especially, what's the guy's name? American Werewolf in London.
Rick Baker.
Rick Baker.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. I have a feeling she's going to do really good at this trivia.
Once I realized Rick Baker was like an expert sculptor, an expert illustrator with pencils and charcoal, an expert at everything he touched, and all these guys were, it intimidated me out of it. I was like, oh, these guys are like Michelangelos. They just happen to have, putty and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
No, I think there's an unlimited amount of movies that we've all found love and enjoyment in. We can't sit here and name them all.
No.
So let's go ahead and
I'll try.
yet again pause. Pause for the cause, and then we're gonna set up for trivia, and we're gonna end the show with the first 1 to 10 between Erin O'Neill, City Councilwoman, and Andy Hall, musician extraordinary and man about town. We're going to do a trivia challenge. First 1 to 10. We'll be back in just a second.
Testing.
All right, we're back and we're about to begin trivia. This is Erin versus Andy, and it is for all of the marbles, apparently.
Battle to the death.
Battle to the death. We got questions out the wazoo, and basically it is the first person to get 10 points is going to be the winner of today's episode. Pulled up on parade.com, 151 movie trivia questions, and we're just going to go down the list. If a question seems too simple or stupid, I will skip it.
Okay.
But
Are we
here's
buzzing
question.
in?
Yeah, sure. Oh, we got more music playing that doesn't need to be there.
Ooh,
Okay. No more music.
that was exciting.
It was.
Yeah, I don't want to
It
get
added to the tension.
I don't want to get the copyright police after me. Question number 1. What are the dying words of Charles Foster Kane in Citizen Kane?
Rosebud.
All right.
But I
You got a pen. You got a pen. Here, use the back. Oh, you got one. Yeah, I think Erin got that one just a second before you.
We just need to blurt it out. Okay.
I guess, yeah. We don't have buttons here. I don't have the budget for buttons.
So this is Erin versus me because
Erin
you're
versus-
reading them.
Yeah, I'm just. I have the answers in front of me.
Okay.
All right. Question number 2. Who played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate?
Ooh.
Beep. In Bancroft.
Anne Bancroft. Very good.
Anne Bancroft.
She's already up to 2. All right. This is one I actually knew, and I told my kids this the other night, and they didn't care. What was the first feature-length animated movie ever released?
Snow White.
Snow White.
Andy Hall. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. We watched the live action version, and it is not as bad as people are saying.
1932.
It was good.
I kind of think it's going to be good when I see
It was good. It's on Disney Plus now, and we watched it, and I loved every second of it, minus like 2 songs. Question 4. In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
Red pill.
Red pill. We're tied up 2-2.
It's been too long since I've seen The Matrix.
All right, here's a Tom Hanks question. For what movie did Tom Hanks score his first Academy Award nomination?
Philadelphia.
No.
Where he slid across the floor in socks?
That's Tom Cruise.
Oh, wait. Wrong guy.
Forrest Gump?
No. How about he slid across the floor on a one of those floor piano things?
Oh, big. Nomination.
Yeah, he got
not
nominated
win.
for the
Okay.
movie Big, which is another one of my favorites. So nobody gets a point for that one.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I even had the wrong guy.
Okay.
You get
Yeah.
minus 1 point.
Yeah, for
Tom
confusing
Cruise.
Tom Hanks and my wife confused Philip Seymour Hoffman with John Candy.
Oh, no.
She's special. All right, this question is going out to Erin. What 1927 musical was the first talkie?
The jazz singer.
The Jazz Singer.
good job.
Wow. All right, for anybody who's ever seen the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine, what's the name of the skyscraper in the movie Die Hard?
Nakatomi Plaza, something like that.
Nakatomi
Nakatomi
Plaza.
Plaza.
Oh, man.
I thought you were going to get that one, Andy.
Yeah, don't you have a song called Peralta?
It's based on the mountain, yeah.
Oh, not based on Andy Sandberg.
No. Okay.
Really
All right,
easy one.
we're going old school with this one. What real life, on again, off again Hollywood power couple starred in the film Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Oh my God.
Ooh,
Really old school.
Elizabeth Taylor and
Richard Burton.
Richard Burton. Wait, do we split that one?
You each get a half a
Half
point.
a point.
Half a point. I don't know how this is going to pan out for the end,
That's all
but half a point apiece. All right. What American writer director starred in several iconic European produced spaghetti westerns?
Couple.
What American writer director
Oh.
starred in?
Clint Eastwood?
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Get off my
I was thinking
lawn.
of two people.
Yes, it is Clint Eastwood. It's Tom Cruise, Clint Eastwood.
Oh, some of my favorites too. The Sergio Leone.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this is a Godfather question.
Yes. No.
All right.
I'm going to lose.
All right. The head of what kind of animal?
Oh, my God. It's a horse.
Horse.
Of course.
Uh,
That was me.
Okay.
All day.
Okay.
Sorry.
what critically panned 1984 country musical comedy starring Dolly Parton and Sylvester Stallone eventually became a
9 to
cult
5.
classic?
Rhinestone Cowboy.
9 to 5.
Rhinestone Cowboy.
It's just called Rhinestones.
Oh,
No
Rhinestone.
point. No points. No
Oh,
points.
no, that's a song. Rhinestone Cowboy.
All right.
Rhinestone. Yeah, I can see the bedazzled.
All right. In what 1976 thriller does Robert De Niro famously say, "You talking to me?"
Taxi driver.
Taxi driver.
Yep. Andy. You there ain't nobody else here. You talking to me? Yeah. Yeah, don't. Nobody laugh at that. What's the name of the anthemic dance near the beginning of the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
The Time Warp.
Time Warp.
That sounds good.
That sounds, oh,
Have I won yet?
I don't know. What are we at? Maybe we'll go to 20 because we're getting close. And there's still so many good questions.
I'm 7.5.
Yeah.
7.5.
come on. All right. This is actually a really interesting question because I would assume that it happened earlier in his career. But for what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director?
The one about the Mack truck. Jaws? No, not best pick. Wait, best director.
Best Director.
Best director.
Is it E.T.?
Close Encounters.
You're thinking way too early. This is a early 90s flick, Schindler's List.
Schindler's
Oh, Schindler's. Okay.
Yeah, I would have
I
assumed
thought
it.
he'd already had something by
Exactly.
then.
Yeah, that's kind of a surprise.
That's crazy. Okay.
Marlon Brando could have been a contender in what iconic 1954 crime drama?
On the waterfront.
All right, you both.
My voice is sexier.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Waterfront. All right, no points. It was a complete tie. Who directed Boris Karloff in the classic Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein?
Who directed?
Who was the director?
Meh.
Meh.
James Whale. Whale.
Okay.
Emphasis on the H. Whale. Oh, I love this question. What Hollywood movie star plays himself in Zombieland?
What do you? Oh no, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. I had to throw that one in there only for you for saying Groundhog Day was on your
Hate
shit
it.
list.
Hated it.
Here's an interesting one. I would never have guessed this. What is the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time? And it is from the last 5 years.
Ooh.
Highest grossing R-rated movie.
One of the Deadpools?
That's a good guess, but it's not right.
Not Deadpool.
It is of the comic book variety, in a sense. The answer is Joker.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that was a good one. I did not see the sequel. I've not heard good things. Here's another Academy Award question. Which movie was incorrectly announced as the winner
La
of
La
the...
Land.
There you go. La La Land. What was the actual winner?
Moonlight. That's a Ryan Gosling movie, in case you didn't get that reference.
Another boyfriend movie.
All right. And as somebody who basically my life is horror movies, that's what I love. Who wrote the famous scary theme song for the movie Halloween?
John Carpenter.
Williams.
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter Williams.
John Carpenter Williams, Tom Cruise. All right. All right. In the movie Apocalypse Now, Robert Duvall says, I love the smell of blank in the morning. Napalm.
She just says faster brain recall. I know all these.
No, you don't.
I can't get them to my mouth. No, I know some of these.
Who was the first actor to play Jack Ryan on screen?
Harrison Ford.
No.
Tom Cruise.
No.
John
Tom Hanks.
Krasinski. On screen.
Alec Baldwin.
Oh. I think we're going to be disowned.
Again, here's a movie that a lot of people love, but a lot of like movie buffs like myself and you guys would typically probably not mention. I love the movie Titanic.
I do too.
I
But
get a
now
lot
I
of
watch
crap
it
for
and
it.
the CGI just makes me sick, but I still love it.
I saw it in the theater 13 times.
Oh, I
It was
only
a
saw
thing.
it 5 times.
It was a thing when you're in school. It was like,
Yes.
how many times did you see Titanic?
Yes.
I was 13. Who
And
played?
I was with my own Jack at the time, so of course you go see a romantic movie 5 times in the movie.
and you left, and unfortunately you're not with him. And
No, he drowned.
you left him hanging
him.
onto your door while you took up the whole door. Who played the unsinkable Molly Brown?
Kathy Bates.
Oh, that was it.
I wanted to
Bates.
say Annie Wilkes, but that's her character in another movie.
Where are we at score wise?
I win.
Oh, yeah. 10.5 to 5.5.
All right. You want to keep going or do you want to be done?
Let's keep going.
I'm having fun. Why not? Let's go to 20.
You just cut out the dumb ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm up to 62 here. I remember seeing this movie in the theater and I was not impressed, mainly because I'm an agnostic. What is the highest grossing foreign language film in the U.S. box office?
Oh, Mel Gibson's
Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I kind of gave that one away there a little bit.
Erin got this.
Hey, yo. Who wrote the screenplay for Rocky?
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Erin got this.
I did?
All right, one of my favorites here. This is what national monument does Cary Grant climb in the heart-pounding final moments of North by Northwest?
Mount Rushmore?
Yep.
Yes.
It is actually Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Wow.
Job.
I was trying to picture it. Cary Grant.
All right. This is a Quentin Tarantino question, one of my favorites. What?
Feet. Is
The
that
answer is Uma Thurman's feet.
Okay.
But only the left one. What was Quentin Tarantino's first feature as writer-director?
Oh, that was Mr. White, Mr. Pink. What's the name of that?
Not Cats.
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, I'm going to give it to
Holy
you because
crap.
you're so far behind. But my favorite Tarantino, and I don't believe he was a writer-director. I think he was just a writer, is True Romance.
Oh, yeah.
That is, again, top 10 movie of all time for me. It holds an emotional significance to a point in my life. And what the fuck's a Drexel? We never did figure out what a Drexel was.
Oh, I can just put that movie in and watch scenes from it.
Yeah.
And it blows your mind.
The scene with Christopher Walken and oh, what's the dad's name?
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis Hopper in the trailer.
When he knows he's gonna die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that whole
That's iconic.
monologue.
Yeah, that's deep.
Ooh, so freaking good.
Yeah.
Gives you goosebumps. All right. Oh, okay. Here's a good one. Which actress's name who voices Elsa in the Frozen films did John Travolta botch at the 2014 Oscars?
Idina Menzel, and I was trying to think of
her
how he
name
said
is
it.
Adele Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem. God bless John Travolta. Just wear your glasses, man. Just wear your glasses. Oh, that was so cringy. I watched that live. I don't watch the Oscars anymore.
Scientology boiled his brain.
Oh,
So.
him and Tom Cruise. We're gonna have to find a Tom Cruise question. All right. All three of these movies came out in the same year. They were all three Jim Carrey blockbusters: The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura. What year?
2002.
1999.
1994.
Oh.
He talked out of his ass in 1994.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. All right. Here's a Star Wars question. How many suns does Luke's home planet of Tatooine have in Star Wars?
3.
Does
Two.
who have?
Tatooine. 2.
How many sons does who have?
Tatooine.
Oh, S-U-N.
Suns.
Tatooine.
S-U. I'm sorry.
I
Yes.
was like, who's the dad?
4.
No, it's 2, but nobody's going to get a point for that.
I said 2. Somewhere
After
in
you
there.
said 3 and after you said 4.
I know it wasn't 1.
All right. What is the first movie ever to be rated PG-13?
My. Oh.
Came out in 1984.
Back to the Future? No. Gremlins?
No, that was strategically PG. Even though it should have been PG-13, there were some
Yeah, it was
thematic
scary.
elements in there. Yeah.
4.
E.T.
Red Dawn.
Oh,
Nice.
that had all the Brat Pack in it.
Here's a really good one. What is the highest grossing movie of all time when taking inflation into account? AKA, remember,
Not
it's an
Avatar.
old ass movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Taking inflation into account, what's the highest grossing movie of all time?
Pre-Star Wars.
Pre-Star Wars.
Wizard of Oz.
It's a good guess.
Is it that old?
In that vein.
Gone with the Wind.
That stupid
Gone.
one I hate. I know that's that.
Gone with the Wind.
I was gonna say it, but I hate it.
And the next question is, what is the highest what is the highest grossing movie of all time when not taking inflation into account? And it is of the last 20 years.
Avatar.
Andy got that by just a quarter of a second.
No, but I said it cooler.
You said it cooler. Avatar. All
I
right.
hate that movie.
All right, this is going to be one that
One
is like
dimensional.
whoever has the fastest tongue is going to get this one. Who played Detective Rick Deckard in Blade Runner?
Harrison Ford.
Nobody gets a point. You're very
Ryan
fast.
Gosling.
And this one is a question for Andy, who loves sci-fi. What is the name of the spaceship in Alien?
Nostromo.
Nostromo. USCSS Nostromo.
Good for you.
Also one of my favorite films.
All right. Here's an interesting one. I would not have guessed this actress because I'm not a fan of her work per se. Who was the first woman of color to win the Oscar for Best Actress?
Whoopi Goldberg.
I love Whoopi.
Oh, well, sorry.
I love her in Sister Act. Let's just say that. Leave it alone.
Is that right or wrong?
It's wrong.
We're not talking Butterfly McQueen, are we? In that
No.
stupid movie I hate. Okay.
Nope.
Angela Bassett.
No, she would have been a great answer though. HB.
Halle Berry.
Halle
Berry.
freaking Berry. Who?
Monsters Ball.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that the? Oh God, what's his name?
Billy Bob Thornton.
I was thinking of Played in Blast from the Past, The Whale. Brendan Fraser. Was he in that one? Monsters Ball?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
I screwed it up. Who played the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz?
Margaret Hamilton.
Margaret Hamilton.
Nice.
Very. It's an old school.
It's on my list.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite kills in a horror movie. Which movie star is killed off in the opening scene of the very first Scream movie? Megastar Drew Barrymore.
Nice.
Yeah, even in the late 90s, she was still considered a hot property. I have not seen this one, so let's do it. Maybe you all have. What is the highest grossing war movie of all time?
Saving Private Ryan.
It was overdone recently by this one.
1912.
No.
Dunkirk.
Oppenheimer.
Ah.
That's a what?
That's a physics movie.
That's a physics movie.
I'm just going by with the
That's
questions.
a great movie.
All right. Goddess Meryl Streep. How many Oscars has Meryl Streep won?
1. Maybe.
3.
The answer's 3. Andy got a point.
Really?
How many Oscars was Meryl Streep nominated for?
1 billion.
21.
21.
Shut up. Shut up.
21.
Can I have that one?
You should get 2 points. Oh my God. I like this question too. Who played Bonnie and Clyde?
Warren Beatty.
And oh my God, they're the ones who announced La La Land. Oh my God.
Not Natalie.
No. Warren Beatty and oh my God.
Goldie Hawn.
No. Oh my God. Oh man. Starts with an F, right?
It does start with
Faye
an F.
Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway.
Faye. All right.
I gave it to you.
Yeah.
Do I get that?
Yeah, you do.
Another really great question. I really like this line of questioning. What Martin Scorsese movie holds the record for fuck bombs?
The Irishman? The Departed.
Oh.
Heat.
No.
Goodfellas.
Think Jonah Hill, gigantic white teeth. Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, there's gigantic fake teeth that Jonah Hill put on for that one.
Yeah.
Who played the Green Goblin in the 2002 smash Spider-Man?
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Did a damn good job.
Okay. Another Spider-Man question right after. No, thank you. Here's one I had no idea. Who is the only actor to appear in Robert Wise's 1961 West Side Story movie, but also in the 2021 remake?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Not Natalie Wood because somebody killed her.
Sesame Street. Some lady.
Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno.
That's it. Rita Moreno. I've never even heard that name before.
What?
Oh, she's cool.
She's
Sorry.
an icon.
All right. We got let's say 2 or 3 more.
Okay.
Here's another one that I really like. Who won his second best actor Oscar in 2021 in that ceremony's biggest upset?
Oh, wait. Read that again.
Who won the Oscar for best actor in the ceremony's biggest upset 2021? He's been knighted.
Sir.
Oh. It's just in a series I really like.
Sir Ian McKellen.
He was a Slow Horses, right? This guy. I can't even think of this.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Is that Anthony Hopkins?
Oh, really? I was thinking not him.
All right, here's a LGBTQ question here. What indie horror movie boogeyman became an unexpected LGBTQ plus icon of the 21st century?
What? The Candyman?
No, that is a really creative guess, though. Ooh, there's a Ryan Gosling question.
Uh-oh.
Do you have
Curry.
any idea?
What? I didn't quite understand it. Tim Curry?
It's the Babadook.
Babadook.
Why? Okay. I'll have to Google that later.
Here is a drive question. Ryan Gosling, what kind of creature is on the back of Ryan Gosling's
A
silk
scorpion.
jacket? Scorpion.
Because we have the same astrological sign, so it's
Okay.
meant to be.
What
Really
is
do
the
that one.
first fantasy movie to ever win Best Picture?
Fantasia.
Is
Wait.
it a cartoon, though?
No, and it would be of the last. Oh, God, I'm aging myself here. I guess 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, one of them.
One of them. Fellowship of the Ring.
Nope.
The Two Towers.
Nope.
The other one.
Return of the King.
Return of the King. Andy with the he stole it away.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we're gonna do one more.
For all the marbles.
Yeah, for all of the marbles, since this is obviously for something. Let me. What legendary pop star judges a fashion walk-off between Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson in Zoolander? Never saw it.
Pop star.
Yep.
RuPaul.
Britney Spears.
No, it's David Bowie.
What?
We won't end on that one. Let's end on something that at least you guys have an idea for. What creator of The White Lotus wrote the screenplay of Beatriz at Dinner starring Selma Hayek?
Mike White.
Mike White
Mm.
is correct. My dad's name is Mike
White
White.
Lotus.
You've never seen that?
No.
All right. Scrolling.
He wants me to win.
I want one really good ending one. I don't know.
Oh, the score is Erin 19.5. Andy 15.5.
Well, I win. Obviously.
All right, the last question on the entire thing will be the end of it. What actress delivered the bone-chilling line, "Whose hand was I holding?" in the 1963 horror classic, The Haunting?
Holy cat.
Vincent Price. I don't know that movie.
It was an actress.
Julie Harris.
Oh, God.
We're looking for a woman there.
All right. Let's see
I
here.
don't
We're
know
gonna end on a good one way or the other.
Where we both say the answer at the same time.
Yeah,
For
something.
5 points.
Okay, here's a fun one. This one should be okay. What basketball legend appeared in the cockpit of Airplane?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
There we go. Oh, we ended up down to the wire. So you have to end on so that the people talk. Man, you should have heard the end of that podcast. They were going neck to neck. Yeah, that'll bring him back for next week.
All right. A rematch.
All right. So what is the final score of that debauchery?
All right. Erin 20. Andy 16.
Okay. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Actually, yeah. Let me see here. I got one of these things here. Let me see which one is it.
Erin 20.
Nope,
Okay.
not an air
Okay.
horn.
One there.
We got
Andy 16.
applause.
Woo! Yes.
Hey. All right. And on that note, we're going to end this podcast. Definitely check out their social media, the MOV Film.org, and check them out on social media. And if you want to be a part of things, definitely get a hold of them. And their email address, one more time, is info@MOVFilm.com.
MOV. Film.
MOVfilm.com. All right.
.org.
.org. Sorry. .org. Don't listen to me. Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Andy, for coming over to be part of this thing and
Thank you,
for playing
Erin.
along with
Erin.
us. And we'll take it back and we'll see you guys around Marietta. Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Katie bar at the door. That was a long one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. I had a great time visiting with Erin and Andy and talking about the MOV Film Commission. And it's looking like it's got a really bright future. It's definitely in its infancy, and I'm looking forward to seeing what all that they can do to bring film to the Mid-Ohio Valley. It would bring in some awesome extra bucks and obviously some tourism. Very much looking forward to that. That'll do it for this episode. I have plenty more to come. I'm fully refreshed and I'm really enjoying being back on the air with y'all. I'm looking for a few vinyl collectors. I would love to do a vinyl collector round table. 3 locals that want to come over, shoot the shit, and let's talk about vinyl, why we collect, what we collect. Bring a few of your favorite records so we can talk about them in a more passionate sense. You can hold them up and show us, and we'll do it as a video show, so why not? So if you're interested in being part of the First City Podcast, get a hold of me through First City Podcast on Facebook or firstcitypodcaster@gmail.com. I've been your host, Erin Whited. Come and see us at First City Records, downtown Marietta. Love y'all, take care, and now bye-bye then.